Okay, today's book talk, I want to talk about something that's a little bit different. I've talked about books before, like YA books that are about characters from comic books, right? So we've talked about, I think, Batman Nightwalker. We've talked about Miles Morales' book by Jason Reynolds. This is a little bit different. Although I'd say that the reading level is still equivalent, this is, I don't think, intended to necessarily be a YA book. It might be considered a YA book. Typically what makes a YA book is that the protagonist is a young adult. In this case, they're a full-blown adult. So what I want to talk to you about is Titan Books series, and this is a book called Mad Love by Paul Dini and Pat Cadigan. So it's Mad Love is a very famous story in relationship to Harley Quinn. It essentially follows Harleen Quinzel, who's a young psychiatrist who begins working at Arkham Asylum and is studying the criminals there, which are some of the toughest criminals that Batman's ever faced, but ultimately kind of strikes up a romance with the Joker. And this romance causes her to make decisions that lead her down the path to leave her psychiatry practice and become Harley Quinn, the essentially right-hand person to the Joker, and villain. And so that story has been in the animated series. It's been in a comic book. It's a very famous, very important story if you're a Harley Quinn fan. This is sort of a novelization of that story written by the person who created the story, Paul Dini. So what's so interesting about this is usually when we think of novelizations, we think of novelizations of movies, right? But this is a novelization of a comic book story, which is already in the written form. So why do we need a novelization? We're actually missing out on the artwork from the comic book. Well, what's great about a novelization is that because it's all text, it can be expanded much more. So this goes beyond the original story and adds a lot of depth, richness, and complexity to that original story. So if you're a Harley Quinn fan, I really think that this is a book that you should pick up. And Titan Books, which is a unique kind of publishing company in relationship with their relationship to DC Comics, they have done this treatment to several major comic book stories. So I'm trying to see if there's a page in here that kind of explains what they've done, because I don't remember offhand. I know that they've done, it's not really in here. They've also done like The Killing Joke. Let's see if it's on the front page. Yeah, nothing. They've also done The Killing Joke, which is a very famous Joker story as well. They've done Court of Owls, which is one of my favorite Batman stories. So definitely something to check out if you're a big Batman fan. But Mad Love is the one that I've got, and I'm glad it's the one I picked up. They all have this great kind of torn cover look too, which I really appreciate because it kind of shows complex story. And for her, it's especially appropriate because it's got that dual nature of Harleen Quinzel versus Harley Quinn. So we're talking about Batman Mad Love, and I hope that you will, or Harley Quinn Mad Love, really, and I hope that you will pick it up.